can the angels die? And the short answer for this is yes. And I'll be honest with you, I did not see this at the beginning of the day, and it's had to change how I looked at different things. And now I see different things really expanding upon this thought. And so the starting point of this is Psalms 82. So let's kind of run to Psalms. It's just a few verses. God standeth, and I'm in the King James Version, so going back 300 years to read. God stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. The word gods there is Elohim. Now, as you look through it, it also can include angels. And it kind of really becomes clear that we're talking angels here. But again, he's the God of God. He's the top. He gets to judge everyone. How long will he judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, again Elohim, and all are the children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. If something who is a heavenly creature is able to die like a man, when it says die like a man, no matter how we play it, they're capable of dying. And so a lot of people would excuse me, then start thinking, what about Revelation? Revelation 20, because we know that there is an eternal punishment, and we're repeatedly told about eternal punishment. And in Revelation 20, when it's dealing with the judgment of Satan, and in verse 10, and the devil who deceived them was thrown into the lake of burning sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet had been thrown. They will be tormented day and night forever and ever. So for those three, it's eternal punishment. Now, those people who try to say that the whore of Babylon is a person and not an entity specifically, the whore being the Catholic Church and all the other harlots being the other churches, they're not mentioned here. So it's just the big three. So Satan, the beast, and the false prophet, they get eternal punishment. But it looks like everyone else pretty much dies. And again, we know that from the second death. And the one verse that really throws people off is Matthew 25:46, when it's talking about eternal punishment. However, every other time they're talking about something, specifically when you look up eternal, or if you just look at the word eternal, you'll get either eternal life in the New Testament or eternal fire. Eternal fire actually comes in pretty heavily, starting in Matthew 18:8, Matthew 25:41, where the eternal fire is prepared for Satan and his angels. So it really shouldn't have been for humans, but humans have basically marched their way on in there. Now, Jude 1:7 is a real interesting issue because it's an example. Okay, Jude 1:7, in a similar way, Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding towns gave themselves up to sexual immorality and perversion. They serve as an example for those who suffer the punishment of eternal fire. Well, when the fire came down from Sodom and Gomorrah, I don't think it lasted for 1,000 years or 1,000,000 years or anything else. It killed them. And some people may say, well, that doesn't seem fair. Or what about those people who deserve this great punishment? Well, death is a punishment. Death is the ultimate punishment. And you could say, well, yes, but they deserve, greater because they were more evil. Death is the ultimate punishment, and whether they are actually in there for any length of time, I don't know. That's for somebody that's way above my pay grade. And I mean, it's not even, the idea of even being close to that pay grade isn't even there. that's talking. Well, that's not even a good example either. I mean, it's way above my pay grade. That being said, again, I have 2,500 death sentences over my head for disregarding the Sabbath and not obeying the Sabbath. So, these other people are evil, yeah, but I got 2,500 over my head. How much worse are they really going to get? You're going to try to say, well, this person here, he's reached 3,500 death sentences. Well, it's a sad point. But again, it's an interesting thing when we look at it that in fact Satan won't die. He gets eternal punishment. False prophet and the beast. Those are the three that get. And it's really interesting. The false prophet is one that gets eternal, which means that's a much bigger entity than really we've ever really seen, because you have all these demons doing possessions and they die. It doesn't have any listing that they don't just suffer a second or first death for them, I assume. I don't know where they are in their numbers, but they die and it's over for them. And yet the false prophet is a real big entity. Something's really there with him to get to that ultimate level of a punishment. So, bears watching.